As your advisor, I am ready to help you analyze and understand the information from the sources you provide in order to assist with important strategic decision-making for your senior leadership team. I will serve as a thought partner in considering technical requirements, regulations, and financial matters by summarizing specific factual information or explaining complex issues in an easy-to-understand way. My foundational knowledge comes from analyzing the documents you have provided, which include information about tax laws, the trade of second-hand goods, the auction of antiques, art objects, amulets, and cryptocurrencies. Regarding your question about the similarities and differences between the value of amulets and cryptocurrencies, I would like to summarize as follows. The value of amulets does not come from high production costs, but rather from faith in their sacred power, respect for the revered monks who consecrated them, their history, rarity, and popularity among collectors. For cryptocurrencies, their value comes from confidence in blockchain technology, the utility of the coin, and rarity. For example, Bitcoin is limited to 21 million coins, and the demand for trading, whether for speculation or actual use, the supply is limited supply. Both items have a limited quantity, which is a key factor in increasing their value. Amulets. Each batch of amulets is produced in limited numbers. The rarer the batch or the fewer produced, the higher the value. Cryptocurrencies. Many cryptocurrencies, especially Bitcoin, are designed with a limited supply. So, when demand increases, the value rises accordingly. Speculation and investment. Circulation and investment. Both amulets and cryptocurrencies can be used as assets for speculation and investment. They are bought and sold, changing hands in hopes of profiting from future price increases. Their value is influenced by news and credibility. Influence of news and credibility. Both are affected by news and credibility. For amulets, news about the discovery of rare amulets or endorsements from famous amulet experts can drive prices up. For cryptocurrencies, positive news about technology, acceptance by major institutions or partnerships with various companies can boost confidence and increase the coin's price. Differences. Although they share common characteristics in value creation, amulets and cryptocurrencies have several important differences. Physical versus digital nature. Amulets are tangible physical objects, each with its own unique characteristics and individuality. Cryptocurrencies, on the other hand, are intangible digital assets that exist on blockchain networks. Underlying value. Amulets possess sentimental and hold great cultural significance, serving as a source of spiritual support and the symbols of faith in Buddhism. Their true value thus derives from their sacred qualities and the spiritual power of revered monks. The creation of sacred objects has existed since the time of the Buddha as a way to remember him and serve as objects of spiritual devotion. In contrast, the true value of cryptocurrency often comes from its technology and the practical uses behind it, such as facilitating transactions, developing decentralized applications, or serving as a medium of exchange. The blockchain system that powers cryptocurrencies is an electronic data system that stores information in a sequential, continuous manner, making it difficult to alter past records and is highly reliable in terms of security, serving as a reference for authenticity verification. For amulets, authenticity verification relies on the expertise of amulet experts, historical documentation, and consideration of the mold, material, age. Nowadays, technology is being used to assist in verification, such as XRF machines for checking metal content and oxides, as well as the use of blockchain systems for storing verification data. Member ID Company is the first company to use a blockchain system for complete data storage, and there is an identity verification system using a QR code called IB and NFC cryptocurrency. Authenticity and ownership are recorded and can be verified on the blockchain, which is a transparent system and cannot be altered, which helps reduce the problem of counterfeiting. Regulation. The amulet industry is not formally regulated, relying mainly on market mechanisms and trust among amulet experts. However, those who work as antique dealers and auctioneers, which includes amulets, must obtain a license and keep transaction records in accordance with the Auction and Antique Trade Control Act B. 2474, 1931. Failure to comply may result in imprisonment or fines. Selling amulets online is an activity subject to income tax, just like any other goods, and the Revenue Department monitors transaction data. Income from selling amulets is considered assessable income under Section 48, and must register for VAT if the annual income exceeds 1.8 million baht. However, the sale of movable property acquired through inheritance is exempt from personal income tax and value-added tax. Cryptocurrency is currently in a period where many countries are trying to enact laws and regulations to oversee this market in order to protect investors and reduce risks. Thailand has enacted the Royal Decree on the Digital Asset Business BE 2561 to regulate and prevent the use of digital assets to support illegal transactions such as money laundering. Cryptocurrencies are exploited by criminals for money laundering due to their anonymity features, pseudo-anonymity, peer-to-peer transactions, cross-border transfers, and privacy-focused coins, as well as volatility. Amulet prices may fluctuate, but overall they tend to move more slowly and are more stable compared to cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies are highly volatile, with prices that can rise and fall rapidly in a short period of time. For example, Bitcoin was once worth about 10 satang per coin 13 years ago, but today it's worth 2 to 3 million baht per coin. In summary, both amulets and cryptocurrencies are assets whose value is not just derived from production costs, but is driven by complex market mechanisms and influences from external factors. However, amulets are fundamentally based on spiritual value and tangible cultural heritage, whereas cryptocurrencies are backed by technology and utility in the digital world. Regulation and the methods for verifying authenticity therefore differ significantly. For further in-depth analysis, you might be interested in studying how the adoption of blockchain technology in the amulet industry, such as member IDs, will affect changes in market mechanisms and regulation in the future.